Oh hey, what's up? I recently got thrown in this maximum security prison cell. What did I do? Nothing that crazy, I think. So like my local hospital had this deal. So you donate 1 kidney, that's $150. You bring 2, that's $500. But they didn't specify if this deal stacked. So just to be safe, I brought this cooler with 26 human kidneys to donate. I don't know why they let me keep it, but you know. But apparently, I've been given charges of human trafficking, assault, battery, and manslaughter, with side charges of conspiracy and mail fraud. My bail's looking at $50,000. And they didn't even give me a state-provided lawyer. Instead, they just gave me this copy of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney for the DS.
Don't ask how I got the DS in here.
Visual novels are pretty weird, right? Being mature here, we should obviously ignore some of the more, I'm just gonna say, negative connotations that you think of when I bring them up.
I mean, the thing is, like, I remember you saying this yesterday when we were having dinner, and I was just like, I think with One Piece, just because of the art style and just the way things are, haha, funny rubber man.
I don't have a lot of experience here, unfortunately. So I know some visual novels, but like, coming from watching the anime adaptation of them, Love, Steins Gate, and Higurashi are the ones I think of off the top of my head. And like, Doki Doki Literature Club too, I guess. With context like that, you would assume that this is a more recent creation, getting popular with the booms of anime in the 2010s and 2020s. But games that are basically just books have been around since the general public could bring a computer home. Back in the 80s, before a computer could even load a colored sprite, adventure games instead worked out like an interactive novel, with the player typing out commands. Imagine it like this. You approach a cobblestone overpass. Before you lies a treasure chest, its lock rusted with age, the wood rotted. And you would be like, break the chest. And then the chest breaks and you get it. I'm not typing the rest of that. All they did was really give you something to look at. The thing just so happened to be, well, incest.
Boo, you stink!
Sorry, by the way, for the long introduction. That's just for my family, who haven't really touched a video game since the Reagan administration. A lot of you watching are probably in a similar boat. Like, you've probably seen this guy somewhere. You're not sure where you know him, but you know him. Surprisingly though, Phoenix Wright has made a very comfortable name for himself in gaming culture. You might have seen these courtroom sprites, or maybe you've heard some of these tracks. You've maybe even seen an objection used in memes. Phoenix Wright is to gaming like Saul Goodman is to the internet. Like, he's just the lawyer. You might be thinking, oh wow, you have a lot of nice things to say about this game. You must have a history with it.
Nope.
I played this game once 8 years ago, and I haven't played it again until about a month ago. So I had this Nintendo DS, right? Fucking brick of a console, gift from Ari, it's epic. Well, I got like 2 games for this sucker, and I was like, shit, I need to buy a 3rd one, since this copy of Professor Layton I bought doesn't work. Fuck you, Second and Charles. So, I'm browsing Reddit, because that's probably the only reliable place to get game recommendations. Cause why else would I be on Reddit? Hey guys, I'm looking for some good DS games. Does anybody have any recommendations?
Chrono Trigger!
Ghost Trick! Listen here, you thumb-surface scum! Grow a pair and fight! Phoenix Wright was one of the first suggestions made, and I ended up finding a pretty good deal on eBay, so I grabbed a copy. And then I turned it on, and holy shit! So much ran through my mind as I played through it for the first time. The main one, being, are Edgeworth and Phoenix gay? Taking 7 years in law school and then passing the United States bar exam just because you wanted to see Edgeworth again? After only knowing him for a few months in the 4th grade.
I got a homosexual friend. He likes homosexual men. He's a homosexual now.
But it was like suddenly everything clicked for me. I was beginning to understand the appeal for this style of storytelling, the characters, the music, the art direction. Everything clicked so perfectly for me. It almost felt like as if this game was made for me. But this game's a lot of reading. And I mean like a lot. You know, I get it that might turn some of you off, but you have to understand that nothing else reads like this. It's such a unique experience. It's not like a manga or an anime where they focus on establishing movement in their visuals, but it's also not like a light novel because the text and the art share a similar amount of your vision, so it kind of just ends up being its own weird amalgamation of everything. I think my favorite aspect is this added sense of interaction with the story. Like, feeling like I'm an active part was just like, I could really feel the exaggerated swagger of a rookie. I've toiled for weeks on how to convey the story of this game to you, and within that time, I simply realized...
Because I have no
story. Yeah, sorry to disappoint you, but like, at the end of the day, it is like my purpose that I want you to play these games. Ace Attorney nowadays is more available than like over-the-counter medicine. You can play this thing fucking anywhere, even going for prices that I didn't even know were possible on mobile. By the way, you didn't hear this from me, but you can use the Delta emulator and a legally acquired ROM file for Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. For the rest of us, we have the Ace Attorney HD collection on every major console. And personally, I think the HD collection is more for the modern gamer. Widescreen, 4K support, a very forgiving save system, all things that were not available on the DS. It's really frustrating to play it on the DS, I have to admit. Especially later on when the trials get really fucking hard and you could only save before or after the trial. Yeah, that was really fun, thanks! So anyways, there will be a link in the description to your platform of choice, or pirate it. I don't really give a shit. It's not like I'm on Capcom's payroll. But I could be. If you like Capcom, please respond to my emails, please. I really want to play Resident Evil Veronica early. Let's first talk about some characters here because I have to set up names for later on. You play as Phoenix Wright, a plucky defense attorney fresh off of law school with help from Maya Fey, a spirit medium, as they help a whole host of colorful characters. Phoenix's big gay rival Edgeworth is our antagonist for the first half of the game, until going through some change of heart and realizing that his way of doing things is doing more harm than good. And I really love this trio, especially Edgeworth. He, to me, has the best writing in the game, or maybe that's just my love for anti-heroes, I can't tell. Edgeworth is interesting because I like how his view on justice is very pessimistic. He views it like it's this weapon so he can purge the guilty. He thinks like, if they can't prove they're innocent, then they're not innocent. Phoenix is of course his ideological opposite. He views the law like this tool to help the innocent up. This even translates to the way that they go about business. Phoenix is more on the ground and actually goes to the scene to investigate himself, whereas Edgeworth relies entirely on the police, as if like he doesn't even want to get his hands dirty. Maya is the Watson to Phoenix's Sherlock, and she's also like our personal tie to the whole overarching mystery of DL6. The supporting cast are all great as well, and are all just a bunch of lovable goofballs. For example, we have the GOAT, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Come on, bring it in there.
Or the incredibly written character Lana Skye. I mean, there are just so many different types of characters. All of these characters, of course, ranging from all different types of archetypes, and I think are all wonderfully displayed here. I truly think that there's something here for everyone. And then there's Mia Fey. I can't get really super specific about it because, you know, spoilers, but I don't think I've ever seen a character that I truly believe is more of an industry plant than Mia Fey. And that means a lot coming from me, a Jax fan, multiple times throughout the game. She appears, and for every appearance, my first thought was always, why are you here right now? I think her appearances throughout the later section of the story just take away from Phoenix as a character. Because it's like he always has this more experienced lawyer when he can't figure out how to do something. And then it just doesn't feel impressive anymore. And it feels like a big middle finger to me as the player because those are also my achievements. And some of them I even could have figured out myself. Receipt! I don't mind her inclusion, but it should have been more substantial characterization. Anything she gets is bare minimum at best. The most I could gather is that she's nice, But why is she a get out of jail free card every time things get slightly hard for Phoenix? Her inclusion is like really my only gripe with the writing. Aside from that, Ace Attorney's story is just such a fun and unique stance on this idea of the law. They almost talk about it like it's opposing martial arts schools in Dragon Ball. It's just such an interesting way that they go about it. Which brings me to a different point. I don't know what to call it because it's not criticism or anything that I think negatively affected my experience. But it was like, I wish Takumi experimented more with morality. And like, in this review, I don't want to come across as the kind of person that's just gonna complain over every single little thing. But it's like something that I feel so passionately about that I need to bring it up. But just like, can I have like a different game that plays similarly, but like explores these topics instead? Fuck.
Corrupted and such is far away. Your love's like rhinestones falling.
I think every indie game developer really does need to play this game because when you play it, you really start to understand that player feedback is really not real, it's just an illusion. Context before I go forward and destroy what little credibility I already have. Let's just say I'm not the most observant person in the world. I think it's the ADD, but I don't know, I just kind of have like a bad habit of not being aware of my surroundings. I bump into people a lot, it is actually a problem. So it's not like I'm just objectively an idiot. I think I could beat the average Zelda game, I just miss things sometimes. I might wander around for a bit, because I know that there's like a key item in this area, and then I search the entire floor plan of the dungeon for a good 15 minutes, and then I finally cave and, fuck, I'm just gonna look this up, and how did I not see that? It was right there! This just does not compute with Ace Attorney. To quote that guy from Suits whose name I don't know, the law is a very precise endeavor. This was just an entire playthrough of finding things. And what kills me about that is that in the beginning of the game, Mia tells you to think outside the box, and by God, I threw that box away. So, with all that established, I just want to say that these trial segments, despite all that difficulty, are by far some of the most hype moments I have ever played in a video game. And that is probably what kept me playing the most. Despite any other segment in which I felt like the game was dragging, I was like, fuck, I cannot wait to get to the next trial. And there's really no big gameplay changes over the trials. It's really just audio and visuals. The aforementioned gameplay is actually really simple here, and most of it is in these cross-examinations, which I feel like I really don't even have to explain what they are, because I feel like you can kind of figure that out. So the witness will give you their testimony divided into multiple different sections, and within one of these sections will lie a contradiction. You have to match the piece of evidence that exposes it to that said contradiction. Later on, the press mechanic will become more integral, where sometimes you need to press on suspicious statements to have them revised, and then there's going to be a contradiction. It's basically just adding more layers and layers in order to reveal the truth. But every trial in Ace Attorney really feels like an uphill climb. You feel as if you have these impossible odds, that today is your final day, you're out, you're done being a lawyer. But each and every time, it's not. Every objection feels like a leap up the mountain, and every one you get feels like such a monumentous occasion. And they stack over and over the entire trial. It's victory over victory, win and win and win, and then you finally get them. You catch them in that final lie, and then the truth is revealed. I fucking got you, you stupid moron bitch! Difficulty never really scales at a rate that I ever thought was too unfair. I unfortunately can't speak on if others struggled, because God forbid when I ask people to play this game, they're like, oh, isn't that the lawyer game? That sounds boring! There's also, like, these investigation segments, and for the most part, I, kinda like these. I like how they made the world so fleshed out. Are we in America or Japan? The fans call it Japanifornia, so that's just what I'm gonna call it. And despite being such a large area to work with, I really like how everything feels condensed into this one city. It makes everything feel familiar when you're having so many things being thrown at you in the beginning. Little stops in these spots really help it make it feel not so overwhelming. And as corny as it sounds, I really liked how as the player it felt really slice of lifey in a way to where I felt like I was the one who is experiencing it, not Phoenix.
Congratulations! Congratulations! Congratulations. Congratulations!
Listen, Slice of Life authors, I got a brand new plan for you. We make a visual novel that's a slice of life in a small town, but we don't want the player to get bored. So we're gonna add some farming mechanics and holy shit, Stardew Valley! Another example being Persona. Persona 3 is actually a game I really like a lot.
Yes, the Arcana is the means by which all is revealed.
And the bulk of these sections are, well, really just questioning the witnesses. Maybe you find some cool stuff. Like, if I had to pick one thing to complain about, and trust me, I love complaining, traversing in this mode really sucks. It's like the kind of navigating that just feels like checking a list, and I would just forget where places are and I have to shuffle around before I can remember the correct order to go in to get to my destination. And as well as that, it's always filled with these loading screens in between each and every section. And then it's like I'm already frustrated because I'm lost, and I have to wait for the next fade in and out before I can make my next selection, and it's just monotonous. Monotonous is the word I'd use for these sections. Rise from the Ashes actually does fix a lot of my problems with these. It has these little mini games, and while I actually did just make fun of them for aging poorly, it really did help break things up. I just think having more gimmicks would actually break up all of that repetition. Like, why not have a case centered on fucking x-rays or something? And it's like, as well as that, in Rise of the Ashes, I really liked being able to physically interact with all the pieces of evidence. And I think it really brought a good sense of scale to everything. And this has helped me feel even more immersed while playing. I mean, honestly, Rise from the Ashes is my favorite investigation in the game. I would honestly just say that, like, you could justify an entire playthrough of Phoenix Wright just for Rise from the Ashes. It's really, really good. So, what kind of people would I recommend Ace Attorney to? I think really any anime fan of any level of expertise would vibe with this game, I think, pretty well, honestly. The crazy characters and over-the-top writing would really appeal to them. Puzzle game fans are sure to definitely get a lot of fun with the gameplay. And really, like, anybody in the retro game community, because, like, at this point, this is, like, essential playing for the DS generation. I mean, you should definitely pick up the Ace Attorney trilogy instead, but when it's on sale, I don't really think all these games together are worth $40. But what they are worth is your time and attention. And honestly, I would say that's even more important in today's day and age.
Today begins the trial of Roxas Sanju. All rise.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Sanju, is it true that you stand before the court today, accused of trying to sell 26 human kidneys?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you explain why you tried this stunt?
Money, Your Honor. I think the defense has told us all that we need to know.
Objection!
Nuh-uh. The fuck do you mean, nuh-uh? I don't know. I thought I was gonna think of something by now.
Well, on the day of the crime, I saw them come in with a rolling cooler on wheels. They asked if our sale was stackable. After asking for an explanation, they opened the cooler to reveal 26 human kidneys. After further examination, while human kidneys, they bear no DNA resemblance to any known corpses.
Objection! May I bring up to the court the distinct detail in Mrs. Nurse's testimony? No DNA resemblance. Then, what if the organs weren't harvested from any bodies at all?
What? Sanju, that is a strong claim. But there is no precedent for how that carries out. But can you prove this claim?
The defense would like to call upon a witness not present in the courtroom at this moment.
Objection! This is absolutely ridiculous! This call can set the trial out for days, and for you that's nothing but a benefit!
Objection sustained. I will have no more distractions in this courtroom, Roxas Sanju. For the crimes attributed to you today, I declare you...
Objection! Roland? How did you know to come here?
Ah, right. Well, I installed a chip in your neck a few days ago, and I can see where you are on my phone.
Well, thanks for violating me, jackass.
You're wrong. This is conjecture. Baseless conjecture, and I intend to prove to you and this entire jury that those organs, in fact, did not come from a human body.
And if they aren't being harvested from any humans, then all the charges against me no longer stick.
It's simple science, Your Honor. Really, it's as easy as equivalent exchange. By using the chemicals found in real organs, I can take them and transmute them into functioning, though expressly, non-human organs.
You discovered a miracle science that could save billions of lives, and the first thing you tried was scamming a hospital? Well, when you put it like that, we sound like a couple of assholes. You are a couple of assholes!
Personally, I would call it furthering science, but whatever. If you want to call us assholes, then so be it. Assholes we are. Criminals, we are not.
That is true. Roxas Sanju, for the crimes attributed to you today, I declare you...
So, like, am I still gonna get my money, or...